and we are going to finally go live. Hopefully. Yes. Okay. Alright, we should be live. It looks like we're live. Awesome. Yes. We are live. It has been an age and a half, it feels, since I did a stream. It's been almost 2 weeks since I streamed. I was away for so long because I got a sore throat, first of all, and that took me out for like a week. And then I was at Adepticon. I couldn't just live stream. I got a sore throat, first of all, and that took me out for like a week. So I'm sorry that I've been away for so long. Adepticon. I bought all kinds of cool stuff at Adepticon. I did all kinds of cool things. So I'm sorry that I've been away for so long. But I did miss streaming. So we are back. We are live. I'm very excited to be here, to be streaming. I'm gonna go for a little while. Sorry I was late. Usually I start around 7. But yeah, they wanted some tacos, so I had to make some. Unfortunately, I bought the taco cheese that has taco flavoring in it. And this is like white people family taco night tacos. Okay, this is not like good quality tacos. This is solidly like corn taco shells and then you make them yourself. But like it's nostalgic. I grew up eating that, you know, so that's what I did. But I bought the wrong cheese, so that's unfortunate. But we'll fix that later. That's a whole separate problem. But tonight, in addition to hanging out, hopefully hearing from some of you guys, yes, woo, painting. Hello, Olivia. It's good to see you. It's good to be back. I hope you are doing well. I bought some new paint. Everybody recommends paint ranges. They're like, oh, Fives, have you tried this paint range? Have you tried that paint range? And I'm always like, no. I try to support local businesses, so I don't buy stuff that my game store doesn't carry, typically. But at Adepticon, all bets were off. And one of the things I said that I was gonna buy, I was like, I'm gonna buy some new paints. So I did. We're trying out Scale 75's Orcs and Goblins range, because I paint a lot of Orcs and Goblins. And also, I seem physically incapable of painting any color scheme that doesn't have green in it somewhere. So, that's what we're doing today. We're gonna be working on this Tau, I think. Unless, like, you guys get kind of bored of watching me paint a Tau. Because I have a ton of shit from Adepticon sitting literally right beside me, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing an Adepticon haul video, because I feel like we just got a Tau haul. We don't need an Adepticon haul video. But I'll definitely talk about it in some capacity, because I have a lot to say. But here's the new guys. Oh, they have fun little fantasy labels. I specifically bought this paint range because of these two colors. Oh, and it's got a pink, too. We love pink. I mean, look at that right there, and tell me that that's not a palette that I would use on everything. You got these three, like a yellowy, a mint green, and a pink. Yeah, that's me right there. Those are all colors that I would use all the time. But this one I thought would be great because I'm going to do key lime pie inspired Tau. And I thought this is the color of a key lime pie. So it's going to be perfect. But I've never used Scale 75 before. So that's the new paints. We unboxed, live unboxing of paints that plenty of people have already tried and already own. Yeah, I'm interested to see how they'll turn out. I like how this says valid for brush and airbrush. Like it's valid. We're validating the paint. Not usable, not good for, just valid. You know? That's marketing I can get behind. I like to think I'm valid with both paints and an airbrush, but frankly, my airbrush work could use some work. Gonna try and clean a bit of the dried paint out of my palette, maybe, just so we have a fresh canvas to put this scale 75 down on. Not sure if it's quite caked on enough where I can actually get down into the paint and see if we can get a clean well. I think we can. This one looks like it's coming off. Yeah. There we go. All right. Clean bit of plastic for our brand new paint. You're so valid, paint. You're so valid. I'm assuming I have to shake it. It appears to not have a shaky ball thing inside of it, which some people are like, I don't like that it doesn't come with that included. But I'm not picky, and I kind of paint like an animal anyway, just fucking slapping stuff on there and hoping for the best. So we'll see. What we are not going to do, however, is squeeze really hard with a brand new tube of paint. Because it will splatter everywhere. And I'm not saying I've done that a million times before, but I'm also saying I have done it a variety of number of times. I hope you all have been well. If you haven't checked out the Golden Demon winners from Adepticon, some pretty cool stuff. The skink that took the Slayer sword, absolutely perfect. I'm slightly worried that maybe this paint is dried up in the top, or like, do I have to cut something and remove it? Has anybody worked with scale 75? Is that supposed to come out directly, or do I have to cut it? Let me see if it says anything on the box. Hang on. Scale 75 putty, wet palette. Does my paint come with instructions? Different painting examples, step-by-step process. Yeah, it doesn't have that. I don't want to, like, cut the top and ruin it. But it doesn't say. Is this, like, unfolds? Yeah, oh. Okay. That's cool. They do have a little process in a variety of languages. But I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, because it looks sealed. I mean, that looks like solid plastic on top. I don't know if it's a little, like, stopper, if I'm supposed to cut it. Has anybody worked with scale 75 before? Am I doing this wrong? I just dip. That's not anything. Do not say something so... No, don't cancel me. I don't want to get canceled. Too young to get canceled. I'm barely a channel. Hey, you... Ah, fuck. Yep, remember when I said I wasn't gonna do that thing? And then, I did that? Did we all see that? Did we all see the fucking consequences of our actions? So I would say my initial opinion of scale 75 paint is not positive, just based on that. G is threatening to play their Thousand Suns against my Tau. Bring it on. Thousand Suns are one of few Space Marines that I can identify, making them, in my opinion, slightly more better than other Space Marines. Did I grab any form of paper towel for this procedure? No. But can we all just fucking see how I surgically put that back on without having to use gloves or get my hands coated in paint? This is the only thing that got coated in paint. I deserve a goddamn prize for that. And I'll just, you know, I don't need the French instructions, probably. That's fine. That's fine. So that's that's my review of Scale 75. Didn't know how to open it, and it did that. So now I've got this entire pool of green paint. So I guess we're gonna be here a while, and hopefully I like this color, because I should use it. This is thinner than the paint I normally use, so that's good. Maybe it'll get me to stop caking things on? I doubt it, but we'll see. Is this finally the era in which I enter 2 thin coats? Who knows? Just paint real fast? I could do that, or I could just paint a lot of things. I kind of have like 2 million tau that I'm supposed to be painting, so I think we'll be okay. Plus this guy is pretty chonky, so we'll see how much paint he takes up. We've certainly decided what we're doing for the night, though. That is gonna be it. It's paint and towel. Because I'm not gonna let the paint I just spent money on go to waste. I mean, I'm not that kind of person. This is why, you know, I do recognize that dropper bottles are the way to go with paint. However, a crappy dropper bottle is just as bad as a bad, like, Citadel paint pot. That is not something I enjoy. It's a waste of paint. And there's no real valid way to, like, write a letter of complaint about that to someone. Like, hello, sir. Your paint bottle squeezed too hard. Stuff came out. I guess I do literally have that on video, though, now. Not that I'm going to complain to the nice folks over at Scale 75. Just something to think about. Alright, sorry. There's quite a lot of stuff going on in the chat, and I ain't done this in a while. The only way forward from here is to daub the green paint all over myself and worship the moon. I'm good, thanks. I will not be doing that. I think we're okay. They're screaming, crying about Thousand Suns. I know, they're not. They just look like space. They have the power armor, okay? They have the power armor. That's the thing. They're not exactly. They're Space Marine adjacent. Alright? You can't show a person a picture of like someone not in the Warhammer hobby. You show them a picture of a Space Marine. You show them a picture of 1,000 Suns. They go, oh, that's like an Egyptian Space Marine, right? Like, yeah, that's exactly what the fuck it is. These little guys got corrupted by Tzeentch or whatever, and I guess technically they're not, I don't know the lore, but they're Space Marines. They Space Marines. If it walks like a Space Marine, wears power armor like a Space Marine, and is in Warhammer 40k, it's probably a Space Marine. Homeopathic Space Marines. Anyway, Cam, tell G that I kind of have to paint, like, enough tau to justify having a battle, and currently I've painted 0 tau fully, so it's going to be maybe a minute or two before I can, I know y'all are okay with playing with gray plastic, but I feel like my boys won't trust me unless they're fully painted, and I'm kind of a shit enough general as is. I need every advantage that I can get. But I do want to learn how to play 40k a bit better. And, yeah, I should practice. I should accept that challenge and learn to do better with my guys. They're still assembling. They're not Space Marines. Yeah, exactly. Are you hobbying Cam? Are you putting together anything? Cam went with me to Adepticon, so that was quite fun. He actually took some painting classes, so learned some stuff while I was busy trying to play in a tournament and meeting pretty much all of the hobby YouTubers, which was super, super fun. Doing a little painting. Cool. No, I don't know what I'm gonna run these as. I guess Guvesa, that's the fucking Tau term for like a human or something, right? Or is that a sept? I've read the codex so long ago. I'm gonna call these the Key Lime Sept. It's KEE apostrophe LYME because I'm very clever. That's what we're gonna call these guys. You're saying, yeah, I mean, that's not too far off from where I'd hope to be in the world of Warhammer, honestly. If I can't actually become an orc, which I don't think is possible, hanging out with the Tau, maybe seeing what some of the water cast is up to. Like, you know, that's where the merchants hang out. I feel like I could bake some bread for some Tau or something like that. You know? Or paint little smiley faces on their armor so they can feel good about themselves as they go into battle. Paint little pictures of their Tau heroes like Farsight and Shadow Sun and that other one. The other guy. Hello. Hello. Evening to you too, Tigress, and hello to everybody I didn't say hello to before. I'm getting back into it. Yeah. Who says, like, we talked about this before, but who says Tau and Corn Demons can't be friends? Who is saying that? I want my Tau and my Corn Demons to be friends. Also, does anybody know, is the Corn Demons you use in Age of Sigmar the same as the ones you can use for 40k? I'm willing to bet that's a big-ass no, because why would it be the same? But it would be, like, super cool if it was the same. And it was transferable, because, I am corn curious. Although I had self-control, I didn't buy any new Tau. And I did not buy any Corn Demons at Adepticon. I had self-control in that aspect alone. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. That's good. That's oddly multi-purpose. Like, I don't know if anything else in Warhammer is quite that transferable. Maybe there's some Tzeentch, some other stuff. But, yeah. We're gonna invest in corn next, I think. Corn is the next path forward. I'm saying it now. But we gotta do the Tau first. Obviously. So, you know, if you're filling out your little sugar candy miniatures painting bingo cards, you can put Corn Demons on there, and that's basically a free space now. Demons are mostly universal. I like to think so. I like to think that my sleep paralysis demon will get up to other endeavors when I'm, you know, awake. Goes off to other universes to torment other people. Okay, I gotta admit, the color of this actual Scale 75 paint is pretty dope. As much as I just bitched about it, I do like it. It goes on very smooth, and I think it's the right color for these Tau. And I do not regret purchasing it, though I do regret making a mess. Because it'll be harder to come by Scale 75 paint when I run out. And they weren't selling individual bottles, so it's not like I could just stock the fuck up. So if you know a good supplier of Scale 75 paints, what you could do to help me out is we have a pretty banging Discord channel, if I do say so myself. Look at this cross-promotion segue. I will post a link to the Discord in the chat. And if you, dear listener, know a good place to get scale 75 paints, we have a recommendations channel. Drop me a recommendation so that I don't have to wait until Adepticon next year to buy another starter box of scale 75 paints in order to continue painting Tau. My standards for painting have gone up so much too since being at Adepticon and seeing everybody's beautifully painted armies. I thought I was satisfied with how mine looked, but holy shit, everybody's Age of Sigmar armies are so beautiful, so lovely. I love them so much. They're just amazing. I couldn't stop looking at everybody's models. Like, they're just so good. You take Nurgle off your bingo card right now. Nurgle will never go on there. Nurgle is not weird. This is not a Nurgle positive space, I'm telling you. Like, I would like to think this is a positive, happy space for most things, but I do not condone Nurgle now, nor shall I ever. Except, you know, there were some Nurgle entries in the Golden Demon competition, and even I have to admit that while Sam Lens's Nurgle scared the shit out of me, it was absolutely immaculately painted. You're still painting your silly little cell-shaded snots. We love your snotlings. They're cute. They are cute. They are good. Carry on. Okay, put Nurgle all over your bingo card. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's a lot that will happen now, though. And it's not all going to be GW, because I actively tried not to buy too many GW models. I think I only ended up buying 2 GW models for myself. Hello! Hello, Kraz. Hello, Keegan. Welcome. Happy to have you here. What are you guys working on tonight? You know what? Nurgle definitely goes hand in hand with COVID. I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. I hope you feel better. Hope that you don't get long COVID. I hope that you're able to quarantine and stay safe. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. It sounds hellish. Ooh, cleaning your hobby space to plug in the FDM printer. Awesome. Very cool. Exciting. I can't wait to see what you print up next. Ooh, a table. Cool. Cool. Good to know that everybody has kept hobbying. I'm so happy to be streaming again. I know I've said that like 4 or 5 times, and it's very repetitive, and I apologize, but I'm just genuinely delighted. I have missed this a lot more than I realized. Like, legitimately, I was playing Borderlands with some friends, and I was like, I'm going to play for a limited time only, so that I can make sure that I can stream tonight, because I miss doing it. And then, you know, I was late for my usual stream time anyway. Because I'm a responsible adult who takes care of myself. Very good at that. Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely rambling a lot, but happy to be here. This is the perfect key lime color, by the way. Like, everybody's gonna look at that. Well, maybe not everybody. But I think once I add detailing and make it actually look like pie crust on the brown parts and put a little whipped cream dollop on his head and maybe paint some limes on it or something, it's gonna work. It's gonna read. People are gonna know. At least cool people are gonna know. Or, like, I'll look at it and they'll be like, what the fuck is up with your towel? And I'll be like, oh, they're just key lime pie. And then they'll go, alright. Thinking about painting a travel rack. So, board game organizer. Maybe a skyport. Skyport sounds like the coolest one of those ideas. I don't know about you, but that sounds really cool. You should do that one. Keep buying modeling stuff instead of recording stuff so you can make a YouTube channel. You should definitely make a YouTube channel. I'm trying to, you know, not purchase any more, like, hobby product after this, because in addition to my lovely supporters on Patreon helping me save, myself also need to seriously save for a new camera and get you some better video quality. Because after seeing everybody's fancy cameras at Adepticon, I'm A, jelly, and B, wow, do I want one. They look like they work so much better than what I'm doing right now. And Raquel from Rack Rex Art, if you're not tuned into her channel, please take a look. She's very lovely and very talented, and does all kinds of cool hobby crafting stuff. She recommended a good camera for me, so I may look into getting that one on her recommendation. Yeah, if it's past 2 a.m. and you're sick, please go to bed. You know I'll leave up the video on demand, so you can watch this back whenever you want. And I'm home now, my throat's feeling better, and I don't have any other cons that I plan on going to. So there will be more streams, hopefully before too long. We're going to kind of see how the week goes. But you're on my Discord, so you'll see. You'll see the news. I did not know that Mortal Kombat is a Nordic myth. It's interesting. If I make my footage look bad on purpose, isn't crappy, it's soul. Okay. Alright. I'd still like to be able to produce slightly better footage than I currently do. Soul or no soul, I feel like I could stand to improve in that aspect. And I would like to. Also, it's kind of a pain to transfer my video from my phone over to my computer and have like my phone storage full of random video segments. If that was all on a camera, that would be much easier to deal with, because I could just pop in whatever SD card I needed for whatever project I was working on and keep things a little bit more organized. You know, just a thought. Night, Poppy. Have a good one. We're gonna have to paint a lot of Tau if we have any hopes of not wasting that paint. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it. Although I do have Ghost Keel standing literally right beside me. That's probably what we're gonna have to do. Start slapping some paint on good old GK, because I don't know that this little commander is gonna be enough to handle all of the paint that was so lovingly provided by me being incapable of opening a bottle of paint correctly. Yeah. We trying. Not perfect. Yay! Glad it works and it lives and is plugged in. Our mad scientist doing some mad science over there feels only appropriate. We're all here to witness it, too. Ooh, okay. Practicing glazing on a space marine. Are you painting a blood angel? I think those are the red ones. Maybe it's a crimson... I want to say Crimson Fists are also a brand of Space Marine, but I know that it's Imperial Fists, which are the yellow one. So I don't know if they did both Crimson Fists and Imperial Fists. Also, well, Dark Angels are green, but maybe they also have some red in like a Christmassy, fun kind of way. So you could be painting any of those. Crimson Fists are blue? What the fuck? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. I'm gonna sue. Fiverr's gonna sue. I was gonna say, next you're gonna tell me that white scars aren't white, but I've seen a White Scars army before, and it is, they do have white power armor. They paint their fists red. It's fine. No, it's not fine. It's confusing. But I guess if their fists are literally crimson, then I guess that makes sense. I took a Space Marine quiz a while ago on my Discord server, and I got a Space Marine faction. I think it was Imperial. No, it wasn't Imperial Fist. It was Iron Hands. I knew it had something to do with hands. Which frankly doesn't feel like it fit at all. They're like, you are cold and logical and calculating. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. But okay. Space Marine quiz. And I had to have someone tell me, like, what the fuck that signifies. And they're like, oh, they're like cyborgs, but super jerks. And I'm like, that doesn't sound fun. Hey, GMJ! Nice to see you. So good to see everybody. I wish I could just reach through the screen and give y'all hugs and some lollipops or something. It's been a while. It's been too long. Truly it has. I've been busy. Sorry. You base your entire life off Quizlet. Well, Chris. That's just... You know what? Go to Moomin.com, okay? Do me a favor. Go to the Moomin website. Take the which Moomin character are you quiz and hit me up with the result. Because that's the true way to determine personality. I mean, I don't know jack about Space Marines, but I know my fucking Moomins. And you tell me that your fucking Moomin's spirit character, or, you know, your Moomin's equivalent, your whatever the result gives you. You tell me it's Snufkin, I think I trust you. Tell me it's Little Mai, you up to some suspicious stuff. You sus. Yeah, it has been a while. I've been busy. And then I was also sick with a sore throat for a little bit, so I just couldn't talk. My job involves talking on the phone, and literally if I don't have a voice, I'll probably have to call out sick or some shit like that. So I needed to save my voice because, you know, kind of need to, like, be employed and get paid and all that not so fun stuff. So yeah. Had to make the boring decision to, not stream. Also, it hurt to talk a little bit. Which, you know, puts a damper on things. But I'm good now. There's so many quiz things out there. I used to see them pop up on, like, Facebook and Tumblr and stuff like that all the time. I always gotta know. I just want to know. And, like, if they're right, I'm, like, validated. But if they're wrong, I'm like, that was a crap quiz. And I do not accept the result. Like, nobody here watches Modao Zushi / Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, I'm willing to bet. Because it's a little bit niche, but it is one of my favorite anime shows. And I took a personality quiz for it, and I got Ni Huaisang as a result, and I was like, this is some fucking bullshit. I was so mad. I was so mad. I didn't want it to be accurate, but maybe it was a little bit. If anybody understood that reference, you're cool. I used to do that, Chris. I did used to retake them until I got the answer that I wanted. I don't do that anymore. Hell yeah, I watched that show. You kidding me? I literally made a video. I made a video where I tried to kit bash a Wei Wuxian. I fucking live for that stuff. It's so good. All of Mojin Tongju's work actually is really cool. I got the fucking first novelization of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation on my bookshelf. I've read it this year. And Heaven Official's Blessing as well. I've watched that one's first season. I've read the first book in that series. I'm going to read the second one, but I'm currently working on the Scum Villain Self-Saving System. So I gotta read that first, because I have not watched the animated version of that because it's in 3D, and I just don't know if I can deal with the visuals. But I'm very eager to read the source material because it feels very distinct from the other two, whereas Heaven Official's Blessing and Modao Zushi could practically take part in the same world. Like, they use a lot of similar language. But this one seems to start in a modern setting and then jump into, like, the ancient pseudo-Chinese setting that is always the setting of these kind of things. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very excited about it. Speaking of that kit bash, I need to finish painting that because it's still in my painting case, waiting to be finished. Maybe that's what I'll work on next time I stream. We can finish that out together as opposed to me, you know, just looking at it and being like, you don't look like Wei Wuxian now that you're in base coats. Can we also talk about how Lan Zhan gets prettier every fucking season of that show? Like, you're always like, wow, they drew this man really beautiful. And then the next season, he is drawn even prettier. Like, who gave them the right? Who sat down and was like, listen, we already know who we drew to be a very, very beautiful character. What if we somehow, imperceptibly, made him even prettier? What the fuck are you doing? Yes, she was right to get you and your friends into it. It's such a good show. Also, who's your favorite character? I would love to know. Mine is Jiang Chen. He is... So much of what happens to him is so sad. And I cried about Lotus Pier. Actual tears. I was like, no, you cannot do this to me. This is wrong. And then to know it's just... And at the end, the final episode, that resolution between him and Wei Wuxian, like, I'm dead. That was a lot. Yes, correct. Your favorite character is the right answer. That's who everybody's favorite character should be. I just can't resist some angst and family troubles in the characters that I relate to. Wei Wuxian is so lovable as a character. Just a rascal, just fun, just so good. And I literally tried to learn, trying. I'm gonna pick it back up. But I have a Chinese bamboo flute because I was like, it's pretty cool how that instrument sounds in this anime, and I would also like to pretend like I can raise the dead by playing music. So I have a Chinese bamboo flute, and I'm not very good at playing it. Your friend's house that you're currently over at, watching her play Necromuna. Her beta fish is named Lanjan? No way! That's amazing. That's amazing. Please send me a photo of Lanjan the beta fish. That would make me incredibly happy. Just so happy. Oh yeah. That's good stuff. Also, I'm sorry about butchering all of the names. I am very not Chinese. I've done my best with, watching these shows a couple of times and hearing how things are pronounced, but, I suck at pronunciation. So, please forgive me for any errors in that aspect. I am doing my best, but, I very much speak only English and am very limited. You thought it was so funny because her beta fish is named Lanjan, or because I suck at pronouncing things? Important clarification there. I assume you've seen all of it, if you're talking about how much you love the show as a whole. I should have clocked a spoiler warning, because maybe some people have no idea what I'm talking about. Although I've been vague. I've been vague enough. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Anyway, it's a good show, and everybody should watch it, because it's on YouTube, completely free. The company uploaded it, so you have literally no reason to not have access to it. If you can access this stream, you can access that show, and that's pretty damn cool. And it's very well animated. And just watch it and talk to me about it. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm so happy about that, honestly. I just want to talk about how cool of a show I think it is sometimes, and like I've tried to get my friends to watch it, and it's kind of a hard sell sometimes, because it's like, listen, basically you're not going to know who anybody is for the first episode, because all the subtitles move by really fast, and if you haven't watched a bunch of shows with subtitles, it could be super confusing. But it's really good. The fights are cool and stuff like that. You don't understand. Like, I was so obsessed with this show before they made the official upload that I had to go looking for fan translations and, like, community uploads of the episodes. Like, there was a Tumblr master post that used to get shared around with links each week for the new episodes, and I think I started watching around episode 4. So I had to find most of them. And, like, the fan translations are different than... God, I can just feel my viewership dropping as I continue to talk about this. But the fan translations are different than the official translations. Like, I remember distinctly, I thought it was so cool how in the opening lyrics for the theme song of the show, they translate one bit discussing like where a character stands as between orthodoxy and heresy, which I was like, oh, that's really dope phrasing. And then in the official translation, it's more universal, and they say between good and evil. And I'm like, that's probably more technically correct and more localized, like more easier to access, but damn if that don't lose a lot of flavor. Between orthodoxy and heresy is wicked cool. And so whenever I watch the official translations, I do still mistranslate it in my head because I prefer that fan translation. Okay, cool. As long as a couple of you are sticking around, that's good enough for me. I just don't want to alienate my fan base by talking about my obscure animated takes. Um, right? It's so good. And it's that part in the opening where it's the older Jiang Chen and he's brushing aside the willow branches and looking really like fucking pissed about stuff, and that describes a lot of like what he struggles with. It's good. It's a good lyric at a good time in the song, and they didn't like the translation isn't wrong. It's just lacking in flavor. In that particular instance. But, you know, the same thing happened with Haikyuu, the volleyball anime, which I'm about to talk about a lot. You wanna ask me about how Adepticon went and what it was like to play in a tournament? You better study up on your volleyball anime beforehand, because I'm basically gonna compare everything to a sports anime, and yeah. There's no follow-up to that. I just am gonna compare everything to a sports anime. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, but the protagonist of the volleyball show is short and talks about how they want to see over the volleyball net because that's where the action is and shit like that, and they want to achieve greater heights. There's a lot of like heavy-handed height metaphors and stuff about flying. It's not subtle. But the first translation I had, when the character is talking about it, he says, "I want to see the view from the summit," which I always thought was really good. I like that. I want to see the view from the summit. And then later translations have it as, "I want to see the view from the top," which just isn't the same. "I want to see the view from the summit" is so good. I love that. So there's a lot of little phrases that make me feral to want to learn other languages, because I'm sure there are other beautiful things that get so unfortunately carved up for the sake of universalization, so that more people can understand. But at the cost of a loss in poetry, in my opinion. Listen, I do want to see the view from the summit. It's just my summit isn't a volleyball net. It's the fucking Golden Demon competition. Seeing that in person, I want to see the view from that summit. It would be wicked cool to win a Slayer sword someday. But you have to be the best in the world at painting to do that, full stop. There is no almost, there is no second best. It is the best in the world, full stop, to see the view from the summit. I don't know if I'll ever get there. But it's like a thought now. It's something that stuck with me after seeing those miniatures. So yeah. Will it happen? Who knows? You know, I'm still early. Keegan, that would mean you'd have to be like either what is it, Ushijima or Oikawa, and I hate both of them. In terms of who they are in the show. They just piss me off. Well, I guess Ushijima isn't that bad. God, I'm gonna talk about a lot of anime today, aren't I? My favorite character is actually Sugawara. So, you know, I guess Kageyama is on the table for rivals there. But, yeah. Although I probably do have a disturbing amount in common with Shoyo. Oh, jeez. It's time for me to rewatch Haikyuu again. But yeah, I want to see the view from the summit. The edgy kid from Gundam Build Fighters with 6 sunglasses. I'm not familiar with Gundam Build Fighters, unfortunately. I do need to watch Iron Blooded Orphans at some point, because if I'm gonna buy a Gundam kit from them, I feel like I should know the context of the thing. And I don't know it yet. But yeah. Actually, in terms of probably the correct Haikyuu equivalent for me, probably Terushima, I think it is. The random blonde guy with the tongue piercing, whose whole team just is like there for fun and don't take stuff seriously, and then they get into a tournament and they're like, oh shit, we should have took stuff a little bit seriously. That maybe is me. Alright, a lot of fucking Gundam fans. Anytime I bring up anything with robots, y'all know what I'm talking about. Say shit about Transformers, and y'all just like, how dare you talk shit about my little transforming robots. So, I gotta get on with all this. I gotta, gotta know my audience, I suppose. If I'm gonna be painting Tau, I should probably try out some mecha anime. I tried, Gurren Lagann, but it got too sad, and I had to stop. But I'm getting to a point in my life where I feel like I'm able to handle stuff again, at least narratively speaking, which is pretty exciting, because I was not able to handle that for a while. But now I'm feeling a little bit better. Feeling like I can take on a little bit more. And that's good. Build Fighters is a conscious parody of Gundam and sports anime. Okay, that's good. I usually like watching a few serious pieces in the genre before watching the parody of it, because I feel like that helps the jokes land better. A lot of times people will be like, oh, this is a gag anime, you should watch it as one of your firsts. And I'm like, I don't understand how this is funny because I don't have the context for what about it is supposed to be funny. All my friends are gonna call me a weeb. LOL. I should just embrace it. Here we are. I mean, I bought Tau. There's no getting out. Hang on. I do have we gotta use this paint before it dries up. But I feel like you guys, this is the right time for this. It was so fun. Thank you for being here and for validating my interest in Maudo Zushi. If you don't post a photo of Lanjan, the beta fish, I will be sad. So please post it. I would be very interested. I still can't believe that's a thing. That's so good. Alright, so here's one of the things I bought at Adepticon that I'm actually so excited about. It's really basic, but like, they had this booth, and all the only things being sold at this booth were just chibi, or little chibi figures. And they had, like, all kinds of pop culture references and little monsters and stuff like that. And I was kind of just like, yeah, I don't really need a chibi xenomorph. That's cool, but I just don't need it. I was all prepared to walk by that booth unscathed. But then I saw that they had a chibi mech. I'm gonna kind of just put him vaguely together for you so you can see what he looks like. But he's got a little claw arm, he's got little chunky feet. He's just a little guy. Lobster is also over here being just a little guy. Hi, buddy. So yeah, I have a really tiny mech that serves no purpose, but he was like $10, and for that price I was like, yeah. And I think he's small enough that I could put a little goblin in the back, because that's just like an indent. For, I guess, where the pilot would sit. And I could just make him piloted by a little goblin. Or I guess a Tau. I could put a Tau in there. He could be a chunky Tau thing. I don't know. It's not Redemptor Dreadnought. No, it's just a chunky mech. Actually, I know exactly what I should do with this. So, the man who taught me how to play Warhammer full stop, like, the first game I ever had, was over Tabletop Simulator with a wonderful, wonderful guy named Martin. And he taught me how to play, how to list build, made me feel included, embraced my enthusiasm for orcs, and everything like that. He plays Dark Angels. And one of our games over Tabletop Simulator, he had, I believe it was a Dreadnought. And, I got that down, you know, was whittling it down with wounds and stuff like that. And trying to take it out before it could do too much damage to my guys. And I was like, I'm going to have my unit of goblins shoot at it. And I hadn't played that many games. And Martin was like, you know, goblins aren't the best at shooting. I was like, no, it's okay. Like, they'll do fine. I'm just going to do it because I think it would be funny. And lo and behold, if those goblins didn't get the last wounds on that dreadnought and take it out. And one of those goblins survived the, like, they lost, if they lose on their morale test, I always just say that they ran away. So one of them, didn't stick around for the whole battle, but she ran away. And ever since, we joke that Penelope the Goblin, escapes every battle, takes down all the important targets that goblins take down. And so I think if I build a little mech, I can put my model of a goblin named Penelope in it and send it as a photo to Martin, and he'll appreciate it. I'm also going to paint the number 156 on that mech, because that's a new number for me now. You would think it was just the number 5, but that was my player number in the Adepticon Age of Sigmar tournament, so I need to commemorate that in some way, because I will forget that number if I don't think about it, and I want to remember things. Hi, Lobster. You are approaching me from the other side, baby, but I am still busy. Please go and play somewhere the fuck else. Hi, Goober. Welcome to the stream. It's been a while. It's good to see you. Happy to have you. Yeah, but that chunky mech was one of those things that I saw walking through the vendor's hall, and I was just like, I need this guy. Lobster! Don't mess with that. That's my pile of stuff. I need that. Baby. What'd you do that for? Go on, run along. Run along. Silly boy. He's been very attached because he doesn't like that I left him for a couple of days to go to a con. So he's been clingy. You did it again. You didn't need to do that. He had a cat sitter. I did not abandon him, FYI. So, you know. Yeah. Jerk for leaving him to have fun. Honestly. God, it was so much fun. I don't want to, like, talk about it a ton because it feels kind of shitty to do and, you know, people didn't get to go and stuff like that and be like, oh, I had this great, amazing experience that I did. It's like, oh, great, that's cool for you fives. I'm over here cobbling together plastic bits from the bottom of my box trying to have enough to put together an army. Meanwhile, you over here in the vendor's hall of Adepticon fucking blowing through your budget just because you were like, ooh, I put away savings for this. You know. No worries, Josh. Welcome. Happy to have you here. You are more than welcome to be here. You can't arrive late to an unscheduled stream. It's not possible. I arrived late to my own stream, if we want to say that, because usually I start around 7, and I was making tacos, so I didn't start till like 7:45. You want to hear tales of distant lands you shall never likely see? I think about it a lot. I'm sure I'm going to talk about it a lot. It was really cool. I met, like, everybody. I had so much fun. I saw so many things. It's hard to know where to start sorting it all out, you know? It's very overwhelming to do that much within, like, a couple of days. But I did get to meet a lot of the major American, like, YouTube hobbyists, so that was really cool. I did get to meet Brent from Goobertown and Casey from eBay Miniature Rescues. They were kind enough to show me around the con on my first night there. Lobster, you can't just knock things over because you want attention. That's very rude, sir. I did go to Adepticon. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry that you were sick. Baby, go on. Go play. Go. Don't make me get the spray bottle, because you know you're not supposed to be here messing with my hobby stuff. He only does this when he can see that I'm sitting here and busy. Squish that cat. He's a good boy. Sometimes. Do not claw. Look, I bought this white dwarf at Adepticon because it had pictures of Tau on it, and now Lobster is trying to scratch the front cover off. Which I would like you to not do, because this is paper, and you can ruin this. Go. Both of you go. Go. Go on. He's trying to be very cute. He's succeeding at being very cute, but he's also being very naughty. Oh, man. Okay, well, I'm glad it's nothing major. And I hope, you know, you recover as quickly as possible from that. So far, it doesn't seem like I've had any ill effects from going to Adepticon. So I'm very hopeful that, you know, no one's going to get COVID or anything like that. Everybody had to have, like, be checked for vaccines and things of that nature. So, you know, there are precautions taken. And I was wearing a mask most of the time. Can I do a Chris Rock impersonation? I feel like maybe he's the one that should stop speaking for a little bit after all that Oscars drama. Could probably do one of the lines from the Madagascar zebra if I really wanted to, but I ain't seen that film in quite a while. Again, impressions are not free. If I'm going to make a fool of myself trying to impersonate someone, someone's going to have to donate somewhere. I still don't really understand why that's a thing that you guys want from me. It's very confusing, but I also will not say no. So, yeah. Chris Rock is an interesting choice, though. I feel like he's a bit of... I didn't watch, like, I just kind of saw the memes going around. I don't watch the Oscars, generally speaking. But I think it is in very poor taste to ever tax someone for something that they can't change about themselves, especially if it's a medical condition. Like, it's not cool, man. You don't do that. That's fair enough. I don't know enough about Jada Smith to really have an opinion. I don't know the situation there. I don't really, like... I don't know. And I don't want to talk about it too much, because I don't like speculating on topics where I have no real opinion, because I just do not have information about the topic being discussed. Honestly, celebrity drama is one of those things that I try to avoid if possible, because I feel like I have enough drama happening in my own life with my own real world events to contend with, that trying to add in somebody else's life and memorize all the people that they have relationships with and the stuff that's happened with them and all kinds of things like that, it's too much for me. The brain can only handle but so much. Come on, baby. Get down. Hector's on the back of my chair, and he needs to not be. They're just swarming. Just swarming. It feels like I've gotten through none of the paint that came out, even though I've been painting for over an hour. For those who weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I bought some Scale 75 paint to test out, and I tried opening one of the bottles. And I said, I don't want to squeeze this too hard so that it explodes and then I get too much paint on the palette. And then I tried to open it, and I must have squeezed too hard because, well, you can see the palette. It's the thing with new dropper bottles. It doesn't always work out the way that you want it to. A little bit goes a long way. Yeah, that is a good sign. It means that I might, be able to paint up all my towel with just one bottle. Even the big guy. I think that's Shadow Sun? Or no, that's a Storm Surge? It's Storm Surge. I have a Storm Surge. There's a bigger guy. I don't remember what it's called, but I know there's a bigger one. I think a Storm Surge is going to be plenty big, though. Like, probably don't need to worry about that. Taunar Supremacy Suit is the biggest boy. I'm using scale. Yeah. You can't imagine not thinning. Look at me. I am not using a wet palette, nor am I thinning these paints. And it's fine. It's turning out fine. They feel thinner than Army Painter, which is what I usually use, so it's fine. You just put one thick coat on them, Josh. For all my talk about wanting to see the view from the summit, I am certainly not trying right now. Typical fives. Always the next model, It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm still in my painting for fun phase. I don't see why I have to start getting serious all of a sudden. I have plenty of mistakes to make and certainly lots of things to learn before I start trying to be a golden demon winner if that's where I'm headed, you know? God, I hope future me doesn't look back on this and be like, LOL, look at me, not thinning my paint ever. That'd be the journey. That'd be the journey. Kraz, you have an hour before bed, and you want to finish the assembly of your cool boys, paint your snotlings. Ooh. Or get work done. You're always getting work done, so I would say do something fun. If assembly sounds more fun to you, then assemble. If painting sounds more fun to you, then paint. I personally always would vote paint, and I especially think that'll be good for you because then you won't be like, ooh, now I have to either paint or assemble. If you finish your snotlings, you'll be like, oh, they're done. Now I can finish assembling my cruel boys and paint them. And it'll just be like a production line. Yeah, Kraz has snotlings too that she's working on painting up. She's doing a really nice rendition of the box art color scheme. They look really great. She's in our Discords, the Sugar Candy Miniatures Discord server, which I posted a link to earlier, but I can post a new link to. Boop. If you're interested in joining, please feel free. We would love to have you. Have I considered partnering with Scale to make a line of paint that is pre-thinned? The line could be called Scale 75er. No, I had not considered that. If Scale 75 wants to partner, though, for that line, I'd be happy to work with you. We could do some candy-themed paints. Have your people contact my people. And currently my people are just me. And you can reach me on Discord, Scale 75. Yeah. Absolutely. Would be happy to do it. Yeah. Awesome. Feel free to invite G if they want to join as well. There's not really any serious Warhammer strategy. Oh, you guys definitely are my people. That would be cool. I just meant like for business and stuff. I don't expect you guys to do any of the non-fun parts. You're just here to hang out and like be like, hell yeah, that looks cool. Or wow, Fives, that was dumb. Or hey, Fives, do a Gilbert Gottfried impersonation for some goddamn fucking reason. That's all I expect of you lovely folks. What green am I using? A great question. This is Scale 75's Toxic Waste Green. This paint was made in Spain. It's cool. That's true. Kraz, you are helping me bring my dreams alive with some 3D prints and tons of emotional support. I feel like I'm going to need to build a Blood Bowl stadium. And I keep thinking that, like, oh, I'll have... Surely someone else in my game club is going to want to do this for the pageantry, for the ostentatiousness, for the fucking razzle-dazzle. But no, I would be the one who's like, I gotta do this. But I gotta find a way to make it candy-themed somehow. I don't think I can have just a standard run-of-the-mill Blood Bowl stadium. That might be a future project to figure out. It is from the Game Fantasy line, the Fantasy and Games line of their paints. I bought it at Adepticon, and it came in this box. Fantasy and Games, Orcs and Goblins. That's the one that I bought. And I said to myself, I said, Fives, that's the perfect key lime pie green. You need it for your key lime pie Tau. And so that's what we're doing. Why am I doing key lime pie tau? You may ask. Well, friends, first of all, they work with the established color scheme that we have from the towel that we sourced that were fully painted. We only have to change a few things on those stealth suits to add a couple of pie crusty details and maybe pop on some whipped cream on the top of their little heads. Then bam, they fit. Secondly, ask me, what is my favorite dessert in this entire universe? Oh my gosh, wow, I've always been waiting to be asked that question in an interview. Thank you for finally bringing that up. My favorite dessert in the entire universe is key lime freaking pie. Love key lime pie. So, it only makes sense that I should have something in my, my hordes of food armies that is actually reflective of my favorite dessert. So we're going with some key lime pie tau. And so when I saw this color, I was like, this is the exact perfect color that I need. And for the highlights, I'll mix in a little bit of yellow and start doing those, and that should get it to be good. But we've got a long way to go. I promise you, Kraz, if I decide to actually go and make a full-ass Blood Bowl stadium, you can be the one to print it. Right now, that's kind of out of my ability to conceptualize at this time, but we'll see. I think it would be really fun to do a nice, fun Blood Bowl battle report. Because, there are a couple of them, but I could do a better one, maybe. Or I could do a different one. Or, like, a casual one, probably. And also, I could probably get my Blood Bowl coach to help me out with it, because he knows all the fucking Blood Bowl rules, like, really well. And, he would be great for explaining those kinds of things, so we'll see. Maybe I'll make a battle report someday. Wouldn't that be a fucking change of pace? Wouldn't that be interesting? You use those while eating key lime pie? Hey, that's a good way to go. I have a little bit of frozen key lime pie in my fridge. It's like one of those pre-made ones that you get at the grocery store. But it's so overly sweet that I can't handle it. It's got too much sugar in it. I don't know what went wrong with that particular batch, but whoo lord is it sweet. Real shame too. Talking about all this, I would love some fucking key lime pie. Good key lime pie. It is the perfect spring and summer pie. And also winter pie when I decide that I miss spring and summer and would like them back. I think the orbs are going to be tan, so I need to do these panels. I'm trying to block out where all the colors are going to go, but that's tricky on something like Ghost Keel where I don't quite know exactly. Like, I've never painted a mech before, so I don't know what looks good and what looks bad. We're just gonna jump in and paint stuff and go back and fix it later. It's the basic idea. It's a little weird with these ones because they were like pre-primed, so So I guess it's a good thing I spilled that paint because it's definitely getting me to paint bravely and just start slapping color down on these guys. Actually, I have bigger paintbrushes. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I using this paintbrush? I specifically bought shitty, like, dollar store paintbrushes in a variety of sizes so that I could paint things faster by just having brushes that were the appropriate size. I need to remember to use those, because that's already going to go faster. Gotta use the tools that you have, Fives. Christ almighty. There we go. For someone who is a self-proclaimed atheist, I do use a lot. Still say Jesus quite a bit. Well, I say "Oh Lord" basically every day of my life. You can need to get some new swears. But you know, can't go around saying fuck all the time. It doesn't work in every single situation. Cyber Monday sales, are those good for the Blood Bowl STL files? To keep an eye out. And that's, you know what, that's nice, because that's farther off down towards the holidays and not an immediate concern, so I don't have to worry about that right now. That's a good way to think about it. These ones, yeah, that's super thin, and I can apply a second coat because I am capable of doing 2 thin coats if I want to. I can do it. It could happen. It's a possibility. It's a shame, too, with these models, because it looks like Tyler had a really nice gradient going for him. And here I am just fucking zip-zap-zooping paint all over without an airbrush. I did try out an airbrush for a little bit, see how I liked it, but I decided that that was not how I wanted to paint these tile. I like going in with a brush. I find it the most relaxing way to paint. So that's probably what I'll continue to do. Did I try any of Duncan's 2 thin coats paint? Was he at Adepticon? If there was 2 thin coats or a Duncan at Adepticon, I did not find or see either of them, unfortunately. So I did not get to try out 2 thin coats. And I did not see Duncan. I saw lots of other very talented painters, some of whom I recognized. I saw even more of those painters' work in the beautiful Adepticon display cases. So, you know. But yeah, no Duncan Rhodes this time around, unfortunately. I think Nick Bates was there for a couple of days, but I did not run into him. He was probably over with the Warhammer 40,000 championship if he was there. And I was hanging with the Age of Sigmar tournament, so our paths didn't cross. But I think Martin Orlando, who I did meet, he's a very talented painter in his own right, who got final cuts and some little pins for being in the Golden Demon competition. Him I did meet. He was very, very kind. We were both playing in the Age of Sigmar tournament, and he would say stuff like, "Doing a great job, and remember to stay hydrated," and was very kind about like helping me out with knowing where to go and what to do, and showing me his beautifully painted Limwineth army. So I did meet him, and that was very, very, very nice. Did I win the Golden Demon? Josh, would I be streaming about painting a town without thinning paints if I won the Golden Demon? No, I did not win the Golden Demon. The Golden Demon was won by Gavin Garza for his beautiful little skink. Like, and people will say that that is a weird choice, I think. But, like, there's so many beautiful, intricate dioramas. There's so many people that will try to use water effects, or they'll do non-metallic metal, or they'll use all of these very impressive things. Excessive freehand, wonderful bases, like pulling out every skill to show it is a skill that they have and that they have mastered, and that looks beautiful on a model. And they're all stunning and wonderful. And some of them are enough to make your jaw just drop while you stare at it and go, how in the hell did they do that? But the thing with this skink that won is that, it's just perfect. There's, the non-metallic metal on it is perfectly done, but it doesn't feel like it was done in order to show off that the artist could do non-metallic metal. It feels like that was just done because that was always the way that the model was intended to be painted. Every choice about it just seems right. The basing makes sense and isn't distracting. The blends are the smoothest you've seen. Yeah, the write-ups from the judges were like, no notes close to perfection. It is perfect. There is not a thing on that model that I would change, add, or subtract. It is simply a beautifully painted model at the highest level of execution, and there's nothing else to be said about it. It's just perfect. And it was exactly, like, that's it. It was, if you had added or changed anything to it, it wouldn't have been perfect. And I think a good part of why it is such a perfect choice for the winner is its simplicity. There is a confidence in being able to have a single skink on a simple base and know that that is painted to the highest possible level, that it can go toe-to-toe with anything else in the Golden Demon case. It's perfect. It's just the perfect choice, and I'm so happy that it won. It's good stuff. Golden Demon is right. I'm sure there are painters who will agree with you. However, Josh, I did not even submit to the Golden Demon competition, so it would have been literally impossible for me to have won it because I did not put a miniature in the running to compete, because I don't think my work is at that level yet. I don't know what day it will be, or if there will come a day when I am confident enough with my own work to submit it for the Golden Demon. But I promise you, if that day comes, I will submit it, and I will let you know about it. But for now, I'm just going to have fun painting Tau, if that's okay. I think that's okay. I think I'm going to paint some of this gun to look like a drinking straw or something somehow. I usually like doing that. He's getting a bit of a Gatorade Mountain Dew vibe right now. Like, if I put some orange on here, that would absolutely be a fucking Gatorade Tau. Which is a funny idea, but is not the one I'm gonna go with. That's also the thing with Golden Demon. Like, I think a lot of it is helpful if you paint something up. It doesn't necessarily have to be with the box art, but in line with the Warhammer lore, probably helps a bit. So I don't know that I could win a Golden Demon if I painted things in my usual style. You grudgingly admit that they did the base better. Not the actual model, Josh. Just the base. That's it. That's all. That's all you can grudgingly admit. Alright. It did make me want to start a Seraphon army, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like commemorating being at that con by painting an entire army is a bit excessive, but you know. On technical execution above anything else. Yeah, I mean, they have to judge, like, a lot of diverse entries somehow on the same scale. So, it's hard to say. And, like, at a certain level, once you've reached it, I feel like it's really hard to be like, how do I improve? Or is this, like, what about this makes it better than second place? Or, you know, whatever. That's the kind of shit that makes me happy. I'm not a golden demon judge. Because it's hard for me to look at something and be like, oh, you know, this medal is done better than that medal, or it's hard judging art in a subjective way, or an objective way for a subjective manner is really it's not easy. It's not easy. Just because I have an art degree does not make me qualified to be able to do that. The pictures you posted of models you really liked won a lot of awards. You have a good eye. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I could have picked the winner, but I certainly could have picked some of the ones that made final cut. That's all I can say. Sometimes you just see a piece and you're like, wow, you really connect with it. Definitely some of them I would have put in a different order. Like that one with the, there's like a space marine guy with wings. He looks kind of like an angel, and he's fighting a demon in a church. That diorama literally made my jaw drop when I saw it, because it is just so detailed and so beautiful. I could not believe that I was seeing something rendered to that level of perfection in person. And even though that model literally made my jaw drop, you would think, okay, obviously that's your pick for the winner of Golden Demon. And while I can't tell you how or why that skink is somehow executed better, I can look at it and be like, yeah, no, that's the right choice. Which is so confusing because I want to be able to explain it, but I ain't got the words. I don't know how to put them together into a thought, which is very frustrating for me. I like to be able to vocalize that thought. I did show them to my buddy Adam, who is not a miniature painter, does not play Warhammer, and knows very little about the hobby in general. But he listens to what I have to say because he's quite a nice person. And he took a look at that skink and he was like, wow, that looks like a drawing. And yeah, that's excuse me. That's exactly it. It looks like something that was digital art. But it's real. And it's three-dimensional, and it's incredible. There's a lot that I think I didn't realize about Golden Demon painting until I saw them in person. I really hope that they publish a White Dwarf with the Golden Demon winners in it, and then I can pick up an entry, because I'd really like to have some pages with the nice photos of those entries cut out and stuck on the wall, so I can look at them for inspiration. You have a good night as well, Kraz. I will talk to you later. Where do you redeem viewer points for a hydrate? I think that's a Twitch thing. I don't know how to do that with YouTube. I should look into that, though. I will just I'll just drink some lemonade. I know this looks like Mountain Dew, but it is lemonade, and I have it here, and I will drink it. Exactly, yeah. You put it very well. It's all about finding the flaws in it. Yeah, I think with the YouTube like partnership program, you're able to get revenue from streams, like people can tip or donate or something like that. Um, but I'm not a YouTube partner yet. I don't have 1,000 subscribers and I don't have 4,000 hours of watch time, so I am not yet eligible for that partnership program. We're getting there, but you know, it takes some time. Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly what you're saying is correct. About doing small. It's kind of like, you know, in a cooking competition where they're like, I'm just going to make something basic. And it's like, if you do this, there has to be absolutely zero flaws. Like in the Great British Bake Off, when someone's like, yeah, I'm just going to make a Victoria sandwich cake. And they're like, oh, that's kind of a basic thing. And then they taste it and they're like, holy fuck, this is the best cake I've ever had in the entire world. Like, if you execute it at the highest level, fantastic. But if they're like, that's a bit overbaked and the jam is too sweet, then you're fucked because you don't even have creativity on your side. You don't have a gimmick. With something that's small, there's no room to hide a single mistake. If there had been one single mistake on that skink, it doesn't stand a chance of winning because other people made more of like a huge display. I think that's part of the flex of it all. You know? Maybe. Is Vince giving out handshakes at Golden Demon? I don't know about that. I did get to talk with Vince briefly. He came over when I was hanging out with Lila Mev to ask her a couple of questions, and he spoke with me and Raquel from Rack Rex Art, who were also sitting there as well. So I did get to meet Vince, and that's pretty cool. I think he might have also been helping with the Golden Demon judging, although I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah. Vince, I guess, would be the equivalent of Paul Hollywood to the miniature painting community. That would work. I think he needs more of a stare, though. You know, like Paul Hollywood's got those eyes that just bore right into you. I don't know if Vince has that. Legitimately do not know. So, yeah, but... I still love that they're giving out a sword as the prize for Golden Demon. That... It's still just cool, you know? I was thinking today, like, about my own story, and ideally what the end would be if I ever did win a Golden Demon. Like, how cool of a story that would be. But it sounds like, again, and I hate to bring up sports anime constantly, but it sounds like the plot of an anime where, like, you know, the first 3 or 4 books, whatever. I bet they'd condense it down into, like, 1 season, and people would complain about a loss of nuance. But, like, the first season would be someone getting into miniature painting and working their way up to, like, becoming talented enough to enter the Golden Demon. And then they'd have to have, like, an arc where they try and they lose, and a couple of times when they try and they lose, because that's just how the sports animes go. But then they'd have to actually win the Slayer Sword, and like get transported into a fantasy world or some shit like that, where the only option for some kind of demon to be slayed, ideally the golden demon, would be with the Slayer sword that they had to have won. Or maybe doing that in reverse, like finding out that the only way to get the sword that you need to save the kingdom is by learning to paint miniatures at the highest possible level. Yeah. That's the theoretical plot to an anime that will never be made. 'Cause it's pretty niche. I'd watch it, though. I'd watch it. I know nothing about pro wrestling, so you two can have that discussion. Yeah, I don't know jack shit about wrestling, unfortunately. I do know about having an angle for your channel, though. I'm lucky in that the way I paint miniatures gets to be my angle. It was kind of cool at Adepticon. I looked at, everybody's beautiful armies. Everybody that was playing in the Age of Sigmar tournament, full stop, saw all of their armies, and not a single other one was food themed. So, for a hobby that is full of creatives, I have found my niche within it and will continue to prosper there as best I can. It's a niche, I know, but it's mine. I found it, and I'm staying here. Sometimes I think a fly got in the house because I'll hear a little buzzing, but it's actually just Hector snoring. He has a little buzzy snore. It's silly. I heard it just now and I was like, where's the fly? And then I look over and it's just Hector being asleep. That's what draws you to my channel, the candy theme. That's what I'm hoping for sometimes, Like, that's cool. I would have wanted to learn how to paint miniatures to look like candy when I was starting out, because I wanted to learn how to paint miniatures to look like candy. I couldn't really find any tutorials for it, so had to figure it out myself. But here we are. We're making the stuff. So my target audience is past me, who I wish I could have told to buy some damn hobby clippers right off the bat. That's what I tell anyone who's getting into the Warhammer aspect of the hobby. Just buy the clippers. You're gonna wish that you had. Save your thumbs. Taste the rainbow, paint the rainbow. That's not bad. I like that. Someone in my chat had the best fucking pun, though. They had "zoded with the sauce" as a pun. I fucking died. I thought it was hilarious. I don't really understand. I think I'm old or just out of touch. I understand that people say "goated with the sauce," and I thought it many times while drinking bottles of potions in Elden Ring. But I have no idea what it actually means. Assume it's something to do with getting wasted. But I don't actually know. Yeah, that was you. Awesome. I wanted to make a t-shirt with that on it. And I'm like, there are 3 people in the universe who ever gonna buy that t-shirt, Fives. And they are you, yourself, and possibly the person who made the original pun. So, Tigress, you are the only other person that I could see ever buying a t-shirt that says "zoded with the sauce" if I made one. But I still wanted to do that. Actually, let me look this up. We'll Urban Dictionary this shit. It does refer to the acronym GOAT, greatest of all time, and with the sauce implies completeness. To be goated with the sauce is to reach nirvana. Interesting. So you are the greatest of all time, and you've also... Yeah, okay. I could put that on a t-shirt. That doesn't feel like offensive. It's not bad, and it doesn't imply getting wasted. So that's cool. Wrong about what that meant. But I could see a little, like, Zote in a barbecue apron at a grill, and he's got some little barbecue sauce or something, and it says Zoted with the sauce on it. He's just having a little cookout. He's having a good time. He's making some, like, Tyranid burgers or so. I don't know what Zotes eat. I do know what Zotes eat. What the fuck did I say that for? They eat Zotabix in the lore, according to Rogue Trader, which I read on Midwinter Minis channel. And Guy wouldn't lie to me, probably. So I believe it to be true. I am goated at the summit. Yeah, between orthodoxy and heresy, I am goated at the summit. That's a very niche string of words that is now only going to make sense to people who are at this specific stream in this specific moment. Oh man. What are we doing, guys? I go away for 2 weeks and forget how to be a coherent person. Yeah, that's okay. We're getting some painting done. We've used up a significant portion of the paint that I had spilled. However, that is not nearly all of it, which is a shame. Absolute shame. Got about maybe, like, I don't know, 20 minutes to 45 minutes, maybe an hour left in my brain capacity to do stuff. But probably not a whole hell of a lot of stuff, so we'll see how much more of this we can use. How much sauce we can goat on this towel. Am I right? Jesus Christ, I sound like an idiot. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, brush accuracy and edge highlighting are one of the things I want to get better at, as well as more precise freehand. I did also purchase at Adepticon a very nice brush that looks like it'll be great for doing very small, precise details. It is also from the Scale 75 booth, and I'm hoping that it is a nice brush. It looked very nice. The man who sold it to me made it seem like it was the right choice, which isn't always the case with stuff you buy at conventions, but I like to take recommendations from people who are passionate about their product. He seemed like he knew what he was talking about. So we're gonna try it. There's a lot of other Adepticon shit that I'm really excited about. But I don't know when the right time to talk about it is. I don't want to make this sound like an ad read or anything. This is just stuff I bought because I thought it was cool. But I don't want people to be like, oh shit, you bought this, so now I also have to buy it. Like, no. Just bought it because I'm a dum-dum who will buy shit sometimes. But like, I did get this MDF kit. I'll shout that one out. It's these billboards. They're for Gaslands is what they're built for, but it's from Laser Craft Workshop. That's the seller. And I just thought they'd be really fun to put like advertisement for like my channel on or something like that, and just have them sitting in the background. but they're just kind of cool and neat, and they're terrain too, so like I can have them on hobby tables or shit like that, you know? And then I can just have little drawings that I do or stuff like that. I just thought it would be cool to make fake brands for shit and have little, you know, little guys, something to photograph them on. So I bought that. Pretty happy with it, probably, if I can assemble it. That's always the question. That's one of the main things that prevents me from buying terrain, is the knowledge that I will have to assemble it. Zodabix billboard, yeah, for sure. We will do that. That'll happen, Keegan. We can do a Zodabix advert. I can even probably reuse my Zode illustration for my Blood Bowl Frosted Animal Cracker Zode. So I'm pretty happy with that drawing, honestly. I think it turned out really good. Zodes are hard to like stylize and make cute a little bit because they have like really weird, smushy kind of faces that don't always lend themselves well to my style, but I worked with that one for a little while until I found a way of drawing it that I liked. And that's important. Oh, I guess I should also, like, I did get the con exclusive Warhammer miniature. I don't think anyone is going to be surprised by that. But I did get Mugruk Dawacha, who's, as far as I can tell, just an alternate sculpt for a Swamp Cola Shaman. But I had to get him because he looks like he belongs with the Skullbugs faction, because he has like a centipede crawling all over him. And I haven't seen any other Cool Boys models that look like they're supposed to be Skullbugs, and I always run my guys as Skullbugs. So even though I think he's a lot creepier, and I don't like the sculpt as much as the OG Swamp Cola Shaman, I had no choice but to get him, simply because Skullbug's representation in the model line is what I felt was severely lacking. So I have to be the change I want to see in the orc by buying a model that looks like a Skullbugs guy. Yeah, it's not great reason to purchase stuff, but I did purchase it. It was so nice to hang out with you as well, Josh. Thanks for being here. I have really enjoyed streaming again. This is so good. I missed it. I missed you as well. So please get some rest, and thank you so much for tuning in. I won't be too much longer, but you know, I gotta use up as much of this paint as I can, so that it doesn't go to waste. And hopefully it'll start, you know, looking like a nice smooth coat for our towel friend here. I wish that YouTube did have stuff like those viewership points, now that I think about it. Twitch really does have a good setup for things like that, and it's nice for promoting a lot of interaction on streams. But, yeah, it was... I read an article today about how, Amazon wanted to pledge $100,000 to the Seattle Pride Fest, but they wanted a lot of changes, including Amazon listed as, like, the biggest sponsor and put first on the list, and they wanted it to be Seattle Pride Fest presented by Amazon. And Seattle Pride Fest said, no, we will not do that. In fact, we are going to make all of our corporate partners attend a mandatory training on like LGBTQ plus stuff in the workplace. I know that sounds like I'm saying it really dumb, but like to make sure that they are not just pandering and they are actually making meaningful change within their organization if they are going to be a sponsor of the Seattle Pride Fest. And it just reaffirmed in my soul that my aversion to Amazon was justified. That I am not the only person out there who's like, you know what, that's the one thing I can't do. Not for money. Now, $100,000 is a lot of money. But saying no to that from Seattle Pride Fest, that was good. That was a good moment for me to read about. Also, all these Starbucks that are managing to unionize, every time I hear about another Starbucks that's unionized, I gain like 3 days on my life. It's very nice, and I hope that more Starbucks are able to unionize, and that there's it becomes overwhelming to the point where every Starbucks is unionized. I'm hopeful, guys. I'm hopeful. It seems to be going well so far. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad it helps you paint. It's confusing for me how it does, just because I've never been a person who really watches streams. So I'm not super familiar with how that all works out in the end. But if I can help in any capacity, and more people are getting some hobby stuff done, and I'm getting some hobby stuff done, I'm glad that we all get this time to hobby together. It's really nice. It keeps me focused, too. Sometimes when I paint, when I don't stream, I kind of am like, oh, I need to remember to do the dishes, or I gotta clean up this thing, or I wanted to watch this thing on Netflix, so I'll just pull it up on my phone real quick, and then I end up watching the Netflix and then never painting. I can't wait to start watching Our Flag Means Death. I hear that it's really good, and all of my socials are already covered with a lot of stuff from it, so I'll have to watch it soon because I'm not going to be able to avoid spoilers forever. It's sad that that's what comes down to putting stuff at the top of my priority list, is how quickly I can expect it to be spoiled. But that really do be how it is sometimes. If you don't watch those new Disney films the day or two after they hit Disney Plus, you're gonna see them all over the TikTok and the YouTube, and you know, I kind of knew the freaking Bruno plot twist from Encanto, where he's just like a guy, before ever really being aware that the film was out, because it was just everywhere, and I was like, okay. I don't even know if that really counts as a plot twist. I guess it's more of just a narrative beat. But that's a whole different ballpark to contend with for filmmakers, rather than, you know, what we had years ago. Gotta make your films last beyond just their twists, because people will tell each other what the twist is. Oh, okay, awesome. I'll check it out in the Discord. I always try and check out what's in the Discord after I am done streaming. I need to remember to make like a post what you're working on in the stream here chat, so I can look at it when I'm done streaming channel. Because I love seeing what people have worked on while I have been streaming. Because obviously you guys are seeing that I'm working on Ghost Keel, but I don't get to see your projects, and that's not fair to me. I want to see all the cool shit that's happening. I want to see the beta fish, and the snotlings, and the Redemptor... No, we didn't... No one was painting a Redemptor Dreadnought. Someone just mentioned Redemptor Dreadnoughts. And the other shit. Someone was painting a blood angel, I think. I want to see the blood angel. It'd be like, oh, that's the red space marine. You know? I like that kind of shit. Nice coat of key lime pie green on this guy. That's still going to be some wasted paint, I think, in the end, just because I am getting a bit tired. Probably need to close up for the night. I say that like this is a business. Gotta put the hobby bar stools on the hobby tables. Close it all down. We'll see if maybe I can try and preserve this paint by sticking this palette in this bag and see if just maybe that'll keep it from drying out for a day. We'll give that a try. We'll try that as an experiment. And see if that works or see if that fails. That's, tune in next time to see if the paint dried out. That's what'll keep you guys coming back. Anyway, it's been really fun hanging out with everybody. I'm glad to be back, and I promise it won't be so long, between streams. So I will talk to y'all soon, and have a good one.